Welcome, everyone. It is so nice to have you joining us today in today's session. Well, one of the big things that we have at eXp is we have a syndication protocol that allows us to list in PropCon, which is our listing management CRM, and then it gets fed through to a multiple array of different syndications. Now, one of those syndications allows our listings to go out into the global universe, hitting, and I want to say, and Urkam's going to correct me on this, but there's now I think roughly 345 million different countries. That's how great their system is. It feeds it through, and it basically gets us international exposure. No, there's not that many, but we will get the confirmation of exactly how many of them there are. But one of the key aspects of this, it exposes your properties to the international market, which is amazing. It is something that's going to allow you to start bringing in those international buyers to view properties and start having communications. But the big question that comes in is, who is this company and how do we actually operate it? Well, the syndication is through to a company called ProperStar. And they're actually the ones that actually have this international exposure. Now, just as a heads up, there's two types of platform. There is the free version, which we subscribe to, and then there's a paid subscription. If you're wanting more interest or any more information on the paid subscription, you're more than welcome. At the end of the session, I'm sure there'll be some context for you to reach out and learn more about what that can actually do. But the big question is, my listing's gone out. How do I actually find out where it's gone and how do I use it? So this is why we've got, well, I want to say the masters. They know the system inside and out. They know how to find that little button and how to operate. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover today. So joining me today is Urkam. Urkam, how are you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm very well.
Fantastic.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
Yes. So let's start with just a little bit of ProperStar. Who is ProperStar? Just give us a nice high-level overview of the company so that we get a better understanding of the platform that you're going to show to us.
Of course. First of all, thank you for having us. And I'm not as a good speaker and presenter as yourself, but I'll do my best to basically explain what we do and just how we do it. ProperStar is based in Switzerland. We are the largest network of real estate portals in the world. We mostly focus on international buyers in local markets. Our clientele is just mostly people who are already targeting international audiences. People are coming from international markets, let's say. And our main focus is just basically bringing our own network, plus with some partnerships, we syndicate out the listings to give you the most amount of exposure with least amount of work, I would say.
Brilliant. Well, that's exactly what agents want. They want to do the least amount of work to get the maximum amount of exposure in the international markets. Now, I know that there is two versions, and maybe on the paid version, there's different tiers, but I know there's two versions, and with eXp, we subscribe into the free version of ProperStar. How many countries does it syndicate through to?
To briefly explain, as Stuart sums up, we have two versions. The number one version is just how we operate with partnerships. We cooperate with CRMs, we cooperate with franchises to basically get listings through you guys, and just we give you a free exposure. We are receiving your listing through the CRM provider, but the eXp in different countries, we are cooperating in many countries with eXp. So with that, it recently increased up to 75 countries, 75 portals, but it's all ProperStar network only. So when I talk about 75, it sounds big in the ear, but in some countries, as you might guess, the competition is different, and some other countries is another story. But I would say, roughly speaking, we have only on ProperStar 8 to 10 million monthly unique visitors, only on ProperStar. Plus, in the paid version, of course, we are talking about different stories, and some integrations and partnerships comes into play.
Brilliant. So I heard you correctly, and I know you said it's a big number, 75 different countries. And here's what's amazing. When I first started with eXp, it was only sitting around about the 30 to 34 country mark. So it is definitely expanded. And for those of you in South Africa, go to properstar.co.za and you can actually see the syndication that's in South Africa, which is actually amazing. I actually jumped onto there before this particular session and we got, oh, wow, there is everything there. So you can actually have a look at it. So 75 countries, which is an important factor when we're speaking with our sellers. They want international exposure. How many countries do we syndicate through to? Well, now we've got a number, 75 countries. Now, this is great. You're integrating into our CRM platform, which we're currently using is PropCon, and our listings are getting syndicated through into ProperStar. But then what happens thereafter? My listing has now gone to 75 countries. How do I know if anybody has viewed it? How can I extract those types of analytics or just the basic data or the leads that may even come through so that I can actually push that through to my seller to say, hey, we do have the exposure and it is working? How do we go ahead and do that?
Wonderful. It's much easier to do that when a person asking all the right questions. Thank you so much, Stuart. So basically, once we receive the structure from the feed, it's just including listings and agents. Every agent has a dashboard. They have their own account on ProperStar. Most probably you are just logging into it with a small gateway, but just basically you can just go to properstar.com, use the professional login and just put your eXp email and you can log in. Basically, it's quite easy. But every person is able to see actually. We have right now more than 700 agents in the system. I recently checked. Every person is able to see their listings, their performance data, their messages, their leads, and every information coming to them. Everybody has an account already. Some people logged in. They made some updates. They put their photos online. They put extra information about themselves, which is extremely necessary, which is the first step for me. And some other people never touched the system yet, I assume. But everybody has an access and everybody can just log in and just basically use the system.
Brilliant. So I know that for a number of eXp agents, I know you say there's 700, we're close to 1,500 agents. There is a one-step process, which is go and log in. Because once you log in, it activates and everything else goes from there. If you do have any trouble, do reach out to our support and our expert care desks. They will be able to assist you, as well as it'll be a support that will be fed through to ProperStar itself. So, Erkim, I know we talk about the dashboard. We talk about where you can change your profile. Which is all great, but I know that we're visual individuals. Are you able to share a screen and actually take us through a process? One, well, we know, go to properstar.com and just log in with your eXp Realty email address. So it's your name.surname at expsouthafrica.co.za. Put in your password, and then you can log into the actual system. Let's run through two scenarios to start with. Scenario number one, and you actually hit the nail on the head, updating your profile, putting your picture, any kind of details to make you look a little bit more fancier. And then the second is where to find all those data, the messages, etc. You can share your screen and let's see what that looks like.
Of course. Do you see my screen right now?
Yeah, we do. We also see the nice zoom. There's the perfect screen.
Okay, perfect. I just need to quickly log out. So first of all, as mentioned, I want to show you the structure, who we have in the system. And then quickly, I will show how to log in from scratch. Okay. So right now, as I mentioned, we have more than 700 people in the system. If we have any volunteer, we can use their account as an example. I don't know if you have anyone in the meeting. Wouldn't mind. Okay. I see one hand.
I've got Lillian who's put her hand up there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lillian. Okay, perfect.
There we go.
We have you in the system. That's wonderful. So I will act as her. So this is the screen when what Lillian sees when she logs in. This is the same screen for everybody basically. Maybe Lillian just has been proactive and just she updated some stuff on her end. I don't know yet, but just basically this is after logging in what everybody sees. To log in, let me show you from another browser really quickly how to log in. It's very simple. You go to ProperStar.com. You go to profile from the top right, and you go to agent dashboard. And from here, you click on login, and you use your credentials, your emails, your eXp emails. Here, it's very simple, and at the same time, you have a gateway to the system, most probably through PropCon as well. I don't have that screen, so I'm not able to confirm that, but just most of the time, it's how it goes. So basically, first things to do to make sure that we have everything on the system. That if you are sending something to us, and if you don't have it, you can always report it. It's the number one issue, as always, having the listings online. And then from the top right, going my profile, and updating everything that we have here. So, Lillian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, we receive email, photos, full name information, and the rest is basically filled up by you. Maybe even phone number we receive. So basically, what Lillian did, she put info about herself, how she helped her clients, which is wonderful. And she put all the social media, which is also very important. So when you put that social media information, you're just basically bringing yourself free traffic from our system. People will be able to see your personal brand. They will be able to see what you have been doing, and it's just adds up. So I will go back to listing to show you how it looks in an example listing. So if I visit this one, which will be a better example because it's just published for the 29 days, as you can see, it's published on every ProperStar portal, 76 countries, including South Africa as well, which is great, but just of course it's developing. We need some time. So every portal that you see here, it will be localized content. So content, the listing itself will be translated. It will be converted into the local currency and will be presented that way. So if I visit the UK version, I don't speak so many languages, so I'll stick with English. You will see it's Great British Pounds, the price. The description is in English, as she put it. I will also one example from maybe Spain to quickly check. The same listing, it will be on euros. The description will be in Spanish this time, and everything is Spanish, obviously. So if I scroll down, the good thing is I'm able to see information about Lillian and information about eXp South Africa. So it's just you're publishing with yourself, with your name and everything. And also the brand is with you, eXp South Africa. So when they make a search, they will be able to see you are an agent of eXp and you are publishing also with your name, which is great because it helps to get more recognition and basically more trust when you use your own face instead of company logo only. So this is how it works in general. We have another small feature that to basically use it to your advantage in marketing. We have actions button here. And if you click send publication report from here, you are able to send the publication report to the owner of this property or anyone you want by just typing their email here. And when you share this, it will be something similar to this screen. That report will include clickable links. So when the owner of that property click on, I don't know, maybe he likes Dominican Republic because he visited one time, he will be able to see the published version of that listing in that country with the local currency, with the language and everything. So this is also very very good use case for actually winning listings, not only publishing listings, but also winning listings, winning mandates, and just getting exclusivity on some of the beautiful properties. As you can see, we have the YouTube video as the first one, and then we have the photos, just like you provided everything on PropCom, the CRM, or just the system, eXp system. We receive everything and we syndicate out. I will stop sharing. Was it okay? It was late, but I guess good enough.
No, 100%. You know, this is where the simplicity comes in, is one, we can see the syndication. So 76 different countries that's going out, including South Africa. And what is so important about this is that little button, that action button, that adds a huge amount of value for your particular clients. So too often I've heard it from agents, oh, we syndicate to 150 different countries. But where's the evidence? Where's that actual evidence of that? And now part of your seller's presentation, you can sit down with your seller and say, we will syndicate through to 75, because the 76 is South Africa, to 75 different locations, and it will get translated into that language with their currency, which is an absolute powerful. So now we're getting this exposure across the globe. Now, Erkan, now that we've got this exposure, we're able to share this with our particular sellers. They're getting excited about this. A message comes through. Let's say, for instance, and we'll use as an example, we're listing in South Africa, and now it goes through to the German actual syndication in that country. Somebody from Germany has read it in German. They've now responded in German in their particular message. They'd like to learn a little bit more information about this property. And now that message has come back to us. How do we, one, see the messages, but two, we don't speak German? How do we actually work with that message?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Stuart. I'll go back to sharing my screen. It will help me demonstrate better. Okay, now it's working properly. Instead of sticking with Lilian's account, I'm thinking about using the general account of the eXp. So we will have more examples. And I saw one question about stats and messages as well. So we can cover that as well really quickly. So if I act as eXp's admin account, let's say we pick one of the admin account that eXp South Africa will be able to see more things as an admin user. Let's pick one of them. This should work. So this should be tied up to the general email of the company. So we can see some people already upgraded. They have some listings on global, some elite. Nobody has luxury yet, but just most of the people are still on basic. So everybody is almost everybody except some listings are only on ProperStar. So from here, we have two sections, basically, messages and performance. With performance, we are able to see the impressions, the number of leads, the traffic, and everything. I can just show you a small glance, not much details. And then we will go back to messages really quickly. So it's just we have the published listing over the time. We have the search results view. We have number of leads. We have property page views. As you can see, it's pretty much stable. Maybe it's just changing time to time based on the seasonality. You know much better than I do. It's your market anyway. So I go back to messages. This is legit for everybody. Everybody can see the exact same thing, but of course with less impressions because this is including a lot of conversations. So I come to messages. Before showing it, I want to go to the same listing that we have. If I go back to same listing in the other page, this can be any listing. But what with the experience that I have with ProperStar, it has been 6 years. I would say most of the time people are coming to you through contact agent and request a tour buttons. Instead of giving a direct call, they're just basically clicking contact agent and connect you with the button here. So they send a request. Sometimes they keep this message as it is. Most of the time, they provide their email addresses and phone numbers with the full name. And this, after this message that you receive it in your inbox. When you have an email in the system, you also should receive an email notification. Also, you should have the lead information on your email as well. But most of the time, it will be your inbox. So after having it your inbox, we now bring out a new feature. Let's say we have updated our messages feature. It was before inbox. Now we call it messages. What we realized, Stuart, I'm not blaming anybody, right? But we realized, especially on our platform or any other platform in the world, around 60% of the inquiries, 60 to 70% of the inquiries remain not responded. So people are inquiring, and many of those inquiries remain not responded by the agent or agency or whoever is publishing. There might be many reasons. For us, one of the main reasons that we have a lot of partnerships and we provide a lot of free value to CRMs and franchises, and sometimes they don't even know they have this feature. So what we did, we changed it a little bit. We make it a little bit more lead focused, client focused. So once they send their information, once they inquire for anything that you can see here, I just picked the first one. Offense, no offense. If you're here, I didn't pick it on purpose. So this listing got an inquiry from that person, but it is the basic plan. So it's the free plan that eXp is providing you with, because of that we have an agreement. But with this plan, you should be communicating through our means. Basically, you are able to answer this message from your dashboard. You will have a small button here that you are able to actually answer this person. Or you can answer the proxy email that you receive about that lead, and this will send a message to that person from the messages section. As you can see, you are not able to see the lead information. The email and phone number is hidden. But as I mentioned, you're able to communicate with that person using the messages feature or just simply answering the email. It is almost the same for everybody, except few people who upgraded either for that reason or for another reason, mostly for another reason and other purposes to basically get more visibility. Except those users. For eXp users right now, it is the way to communicate. And once you communicate, it's with the messages feature. I need to double check that, but just once you have the extra features, the messages feature also comes with a translation as well. It does the automatic translation for you. But as it stands, it's just the agent's duty to basically check his messages and answer through system or through the email, just answering by the email that he received in his eXp email, let's say.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, that actually covers exactly what we're wanting to understand, because what we're actually looking at is once you logged into the portal, the first thing, step number one, make sure that your profile is updated. And please do note, we're on the free version of it. We call it that free version. That's obviously the lower tier, which allows you to do the very simple messaging going backwards and forwards. No information will be syndicated back to PropCon. It will be in the actual portal itself. So, Erke, when you said 60% are going unanswered, I can totally believe that, because unfortunately, some agents they're not aware of the actual portal. So that's why it's extremely important to log in. So step number one, log in and make sure that you update your actual profile. Step two is make sure that your listings appear. Click on the little listings tab and look at your listings. If they're not appearing, there might be a syndication that is actually basically broken. And start with Expert Care Desk just to make sure that everything is set up correctly on PropCon for it to syndicate through. And then we can reach out to ProperStar to see if everything is actually coming in from that side there. It is something where, remember, syndications is data transfer. Anything can happen over those airways as they're going through. Then that little third tab up at the top of the screen is performance. And what Erkan was showing us was the performance of eXp Realty. Every single one of the properties, when you've logged on to your particular profile, you will only see the performance of your listings. Am I correct in saying that, Erkan? Perfect.
Exactly.
All right. And if you wanted to drill down on just one listing to see the performance of that particular listing, are you able to get that information, or does it just give you all of your listings in your profile?
As you said, you are able to do that. You just click on the listing. There is a small performance tab in each listing, every individual listings. Of course, it will only show that listing performance, but you are able to see it as well. With those reports, you don't need to upgrade to see those reports. Of course, the numbers will not be very inflated due to it is being the free version, but you are able to see each listings individual performance as well right now. And Lilian made a send a quick note, which is very valuable because it's coming from you guys. He said it's roughly taking 48 hours to have the listing on ProperStar, which is completely normal. We have a daily update between the platforms, but it might take 1 to 2 days.
Absolutely. Remember, the syndication, especially with the number of agents that are doing it, it's not an hourly like in some of the local platforms. This is something that does take a while because it's going to go through. And then it's going down to 74, 76 countries. So everything needs to populate, especially with translating. It takes a little bit of data and time. Those little minions are working hard behind the scenes using some form of translator to quickly type it out for you. So there's the performance question. So you can click on the performance at the top, which will show you the performance of all your listings, or select a listing and you can check the performance on that listing. But don't forget that little action button, where you can send a report through to your seller, which allows them to see where their property is exposed across the globe, as well as going, well, is it correct? And clicking on the one for France and going, okay, it is in Parlez-vous Français. So that is everything that goes into there. And then finally, the messages. This is something that is so important. You have to log into ProperStar to get your messages. They do not syndicate back to PropCon. So you have to log in. Now, I would strongly recommend that if you're getting up to a number of listings each and every day, have it as a habit. Log into PropStar, have a look at your profile, click on those messages and see if there's any messages outstanding, because you could be sitting with a pool of potential international buyers. From there, you then start to respond using that messaging platform to communicate with them. Now, remember, if they're starting to look for more information, more details, and you want to communicate with them, well, we've got the POPI Act in South Africa. That's the reason why you can't see their email addresses and their contact details. But through the messaging, you can then make arrangements to say, hey, by the way, you can then contact us here, and you can start to have those conversations, especially if you're wanting to set up viewings if they're coming out to South Africa, or if they've got somebody in South Africa to view on their particular behalf. So the platform is very simple to actually use, which is, I want to say, is brilliant. Nothing complicated about it. Very straightforward and simple. Step 1, do your profile. Step 2, check your listings. Step 3, look at the performance. And step 4, well, check out those messages to make sure that you are working and getting everything up to date. As easy as that. So, quick little questions that have come through, Lillian, and I love you can see the people, the agents that are active in this. When you log into your listing to view performance, scroll down to the below the performance and you'll show the individual property performance. So there we go. She's actually working on it and seeing. Now, I know that one of our top agents in South Africa, she uses this on a daily basis, and she is based in Durbanville in the Western Cape, and she is getting a number of international listings and selling a number of properties. Why aren't you doing it? That's the question I want to ask you. Why are you not doing that? So, Erkan, let's now take it across to the next level, because I know that there's going to be agents out there that say, great, I'm happy with this free version. And some agents are going to go, I want more. I want to take it to the next level. Now, this is done on an individual basis. You will obviously go from there. But what does that next tier look like? What is the differences that it actually offers? Can you share a little bit about that?
Of course, of course. So basically, when you upgrade the profile, which starts with being a global agent, in this case, we call it global office, we call it global agent, we call to you to become global. Once you do that, it's like a general boost for the whole dashboard for every listing of yours. It's not working listing by listing. It's for everything you have. If you have 10 listings, 20 listings, 50 listings, of course, you will have different quotations from the team when you are contacted because of the number of listings. But basically, number one thing, you will have more visibility on ProperStar. Your listings will speak to larger audiences through more portals as well, which we call international network. I'll share my screen and show it as well. And you'll be able to reveal the lead information, whether or not you want to use the messages feature or just you want to answer them on your own measures. It's up to you. Let me share my screen as well and show quickly. So I'll quickly go back to our network of portals. So for South Africa, we have a dynamic list of portals that is
Nothing's shared
changing
yet.
country to country.
Nothing's come through yet, Erkan.
Let me do that again. It just gives me the same problem. Wissam, would you mind sharing your screen?
Yep, sure.
Okay, perfect. If you can log out and just show us the network only, that will be wonderful.
Okay, perfect. Let me do that for you. Okay, now I'm logged out.
You can from the top. You can just search network ProperStar from Google. It would be faster instead of using the portal feature. Or you can just open a new tab and we can use this one.
Okay, let me show you that.
Yep. Perfect. Just Egypt is picked by the top right. If you can pick South Africa.
Okay. And if we
no, top right.
Okay.
It can stay like this. Yes, perfect.
Okay. Let me check South Africa real quick.
Yes. Perfect. So with South Africa, as I mentioned, we are talking about in total 117 portals in 78 countries. 76 of them being ProperStar network. You can see the whole list of network. Wissam, if you can show us really quickly. And everybody here is already published in this network. You don't need to do anything about it. It's just the pre-value that PropCon and just basically eXp bringing you with the brand recognition. You are able to publish here already, and you don't need to do anything extra about it. But once you upgrade to global, our international network comes into play. In here, we have partnerships with big brands. For example, we have partnership with Immobiliare from Italy, which is basically the #1 Italian portal. We have the Polish portal group, 4 portals. They're just the leaders in Poland. We have Realtor.com, which is one of the best in the United States in terms of international listings as well. And we have other portals all around the world, most of them being the leader in their respective markets. With some of them, we have white label agreements. So basically the technology is ProperStar technology, but we are using their international section to drive the traffic from those portals. So when the client with their 5 to 20 or 500 listings, when they upgrade to global, the portal number of portals will go up to little over 100, excluding the luxury network, including ProperStar plus international network. Not only that, when you do that, Wessam, if you can go back to the other tab that we can show in the portal side. Just you
Okay.
can go
How
to
about,
directly.
how about I pick a plan? Like I pick a global
Yeah,
plan,
also would work.
international plan? Okay. So that's the
Mhm.
global plan. That's only with international network, and ProperStar. That's 106 portals.
Exactly. So 106 portals, 78 countries. This is the number one step when you do the upgrade. And this is how many portals you will be published on, not only on ProperStar, plus our international network. From the ProperStar network, maybe you can pick a portal. You can pick either Canada, UK, or .com.
Okay. How about Luxembourg?
Would be good. I don't speak Luxembourg, speaks French, right?
Yeah, I don't speak French as well, so maybe you can just pick something else. Okay,
Can
that's
be UK or Canada.
the UK. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me share the UK
So,
page as well. Just a second. Let me share my whole screen.
no problem.
Okay. Yeah. Now you can see everything.
Do you want us to make a specific search in any city, Stuart? What do you think? Where would be a
Make it a
good place to
random.
make a search in? In
Yeah,
South
make it
Africa,
South Africa. Let's do Bellville. Bellville. Bellville.
Okay, I'll just say South Africa.
okay, it can be very generic as well.
And can you tell me the name again? Or maybe I can just
Bell.
pick South Africa and we can pick it from the map.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
okay.
Yeah, okay, that would also work.
So that's South Africa.
Yeah,
You
so
can
you
zoom
go.
in from
So
the
zoom into where it
right.
says Cape Town on the bottom left of it. There we go.
Mhm.
Okay, that's Cape Town here. And where
That's
do
it.
I go
We
from
can pick Cape Town as well.
Yeah, so where Cape Town is, you just carry on zooming right in there. Bellville is just above.
Okay.
You'll have to zoom a little bit
Okay.
more.
You have to know that I'm the worst person to do that because I'm not very fluent in directions. Like, I get lost every day in my way to home. I'm the worst person to do this, honestly.
I think even if you drove a line around Cape Town would be nice, because the smaller the search is, we will have less results. Making a search in Cape Town would be better idea, maybe.
Okay,
There we
maybe
go.
we can just check.
Yeah. You can draw from the top right. You can just draw a circle for yourself. Top right, if you click on draw,
Okay.
yes, you can just draw it as big as possible, I think, to show
There we
the
go.
difference between the okay. I think I would draw bigger, maybe, if you can.
I'll draw bigger. Okay. Draw another area.
Yeah. Yes, we want to see more listings, let's say. Okay. So we are seeing 704 listing in that area we draw. It's just I'm assuming it's not the whole Cape Town. I've never visited South Africa yet. I'm quite a traveler. It's on my list. I'm excited to do it, but just not yet. I don't know well, so sorry about that. In here, as you can see from the left, we have the listings. Wesam, if you scroll down slowly on the left, if you can.
Sure.
On the left side, yep. As you can see, some listings, they appear larger. We can keep scrolling down on the left.
Sure.
Mhm.
Some of them appear larger than, for example, here.
And yeah, here the change happens. So these listings that we see, they're still global, but the top listing that we see, there were 5 or 6 listings, they are boosted listing, either elite or luxury. Basically, structure goes like this. We first show the listing. Of course, there's also many things comes into play: the quality of the listing, the freshness of the listings, and many other things, or just the user is making a lot of searches or daily searches. But in general, as you can see, in terms of priority, boosted listing has better priority compared to global listing. And right after the boosted listing, we see the Roland's listing, and right after it keeps going. So when you do not upgrade, or just when you have only basic, your listing will be at the end of or just roughly speaking, close to the end of the pile. And when you upgrade, the good thing is you will be occupying somewhere near the first pages. With your bundle, if you add in some elite or luxury, as these companies publishing, you'll be able to put some of those listings on the first pages, which is also dynamic, that you can rotate those boosters time to time. So that's basically the idea, because we know sometimes when the foreigners, when they make searches, they will be just like me and Vessam, they won't be knowing a lot about the country. They'll be making more general searches. If they're making more smaller searches, much better. I think they're more qualified buyers, hopefully. But if not, even in that situation with the surrounding areas, you'll be putting your listings in a better location in terms of the visibility. So that's
Brilliant.
what it does.
Perfect.
And also you have your profile elevated, let's say, with the global.
Perfect. So here we can actually see one key difference is being able to have that as a premier. Now, you also mentioned that the messagings is not just limited to your particular platform. Under the actual paid version, the premium version, it can then start to come through. Is it through to your email address? Is that an option that you can go so you don't always have to log in? Just give us a very brief on that.
Actually, with the free benefits as well, right now everybody should be receiving the leads on their emails. I'm not super sure about it. If anyone knows from the call, if they can verify with us, but you should be able to now receive an email with the message that you actually get, but not the lead information revealed. So when you answer that email from your email, it will work as a messages section. So it automatically means that you answer that person, and that message will take place on the messages section as well. But when you have the global feature, when everything is on global on your profile, you don't need to worry about that, because whenever you have a lead, you'll be able to see their full lead information. Okay, Sandra confirmed that, yeah, he received. Yes. So Sandra, you can just answer that email that you receive, and it means that you answered your lead, and you can see your message syndicated back to the system. But whenever you upgrade to global, you will be able to see the full lead information, including if they share, of course, their email information and phone numbers.
Okay, perfect. So obviously you can see there's a difference between the free and the paid versions, because one of the big things is lead information that will actually then come through to you. With the free version that we've got, it is only a messaging. It's not getting all of the actual lead details that are coming through. It's just a messaging where somebody's communicating with you. But if you think about it, that message is lead information. They've opened a conversation with you. You can carry on that conversation through the messaging platform or through the email, which won't show their email address. It'll actually be a bit of a gobbledygook type of email address, but that's so that it gets back into the messaging system, and then you can have those communications that go from there. So it's a great platform for us to use as an exposure, especially when we're looking to get those actual mandates, get those listings and saying to them, well, we actually are syndicating to 76 different countries, different portals, because they are the country portals. There are ProperStars, and they're going out from there. It is that upgrade that takes you to the next level as you're going through. So I want to just ask one last question on all of this. And it's really one of the questions that a lot of agents are asking. How powerful has ProperStar been against some of the big players in the different countries? So I'm going to use the US as an example. I know that through the normal ProperStar, you're going to be competing with the likes of, let's say, Zillow and all of that. You've got Realtor.com, but how's its performance been against those big players in the countries? I know that South Africa, you are building it up, but how has your acceptance been in those different countries itself?
Thank you. So it actually based on where we talk about most of the time. When we talk about portal like Realtor.com, their international section is well recognized by their users for many years. So once we receive some leads, US leads from countries like Dominican Republic, for Mexico, I would say important number of them are coming through Realtor.com. We are contributing the number of leads, but surprisingly, in many other countries in which the international section is not well recognized by some portals, let's say there is a portal in Spain, they are very good locally, but just they did not communicate super well about them having international section. So people are actually not visiting their international section a lot. In these cases, ProperStar actually outperforms that partner, that international partner, in certain occasions. For South Africa, we have very homogeneous results. I would say we have a lot of results coming through us, and some of them coming through partners. And so far, I would say we have good pace, and just it's increasing very organically. We are also increasing number of listings in the region. Also, it helps. And I would say in terms of lead provided by the system, it's just almost 50-50, like our partners and ourselves. But the good thing is also whenever you invested more time and effort and of course finances on ProperStar, your positioning is getting elevated also on ProperStar. So basically you are not only including the new portals, but just you are getting better position where you already are. That's why just when you do the upgrade, it's just sometimes working like a day and night. We don't want to overpromise, obviously, but sometimes it works pretty well, I would say.
Brilliant. And this is one of the best things about what you've just shared with us is showing the value of ProperStar, where in some countries you're actually, as far as the international section of it, you're actually stronger than their local platforms that people might be a little bit more familiar with. So it's always a huge thank you to have you guys from ProperStar. There has been a few questions that have come through the chat box. I'm going to now open it up to some Q&As. Before we go into the actual Q&A, I know that, Lillian, you've asked the question, you asked it again, you said under your notifications on your profile, the email tick box is not active. How do I activate that? So these are the type of questions that can come through from time to time. So Erkam, is there a support email or a support structure that if an agent does have a particular question, that they can make communications to have these answered? I'm not sure if you're able to pop that into the actual chat box for anybody to use.
Of course. Let me drop that here. It's support@properstar.com, in which if it's a sale question, it will be directed to our sales team. It could be Wessam, it could be sometimes me, anybody from the sales team. If it's a support question, it's just somebody else will be contacting, either fixing your problem or just send you a small information to how to fix it or how to see it. It can be shown. About that question, I'm not super familiar. We can check that later. I can get back to you, Lilian, about that, because that's also the feature. I see the new listing publication email, new lead email. It can be about sometimes that some box ticked or not, can be about the CRM as well. It's just because of the CRM settings. We can revisit that on a corporate level. Actually, we can check that for you. But feel free to email at support@properstar.com, so we will get it checked.
Absolutely. So there's that email address. Now, remember, your first port of call is always going through to our local expert care, just to make sure that the syndications and everything that's on PropCon is correct and everything is being syndicated through correctly, and then go through. So don't jump into ProperStar and say, hey, my listings aren't here, when the syndication's been disabled on PropCon, because ProperStar is not going to be able to assist you with that particular area there. And as well as if there is a sales, or if you are looking for any form of upgrade and speaking further, you're more than welcome to reach out to the ProperStar team. And I know that they are willing to give you that support and that advice and give you those proposals back to you, so you know exactly where you can actually go forward. We've seen the value and we can see the exposure, especially if you're in those high-profile areas that has a vast interest of international buyers. That's one of the key ones that we wanted to have a look at. And then the final question that I'll answer, and this is basically, where do we find, how do we get into it? Well, there is a tile on your actual Okta dashboard, but if you are battling to find that particular tile, you just go to properstar.com. onto that particular page, jump up to the top. You'll see there's a little login button. Click on, well, when you click on the button, it goes to Agent Dashboard. That's right. I'm remembering in the back of my screen. Agent Dashboard, click on that, and then log in with your expsouthafrica.co.za email address. Please don't use your Gmail addresses. It's not loaded. They're not going to know who you are. You must use your expsouthafrica.co.za email address and your password, and you should be able to go in. Any problems with that, you just speak to our expert care desk, and they can actually help you with that. Erkim, Wessam, I actually want to thank you so much for coming on to this particular session. I know it took us a while to get this locked in with all of the activities that are coming through. I look forward to doing a future session where maybe there's a new feature, or maybe there's something else that's come out, or maybe it's just a quick little recap. So any final thoughts, words, comments from yourself, Erkim, before we close up?
I shared Wessam's information for anybody who would like to reach out later. They can do that. Thank you so much for having us. It was very, very professional. We would like to do it regularly, if you don't mind, like a webinar. We would be more than happy to, whenever you have a certain amount of agents are on board, they want to hear more from us, we can do it regularly. We will be more than happy to do that. And for every individual inquiries or just any inquiries that we can handle, we will do our best. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. It's been actually great and very informative. And just like Erkam said, we would love to do this on a regular basis. And I'm here for you. Like, if you have any question, just feel free to text me or email me at any time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. So there we go. You've got the details to contact ProperStar. Remember the support at properstar.com. That's an email address if you need those particular supports. So from myself, Stuart, it's been a fantastic session to go through ProperStar. Really pull back the curtain, have a look at the dashboard, understand how it works so that we know how to take our business, not just locally, but internationally. 76 different portals, over 75 different countries, because obviously we enter South Africa, and this is going to give you that exposure that you're looking for. Till our next session, thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers for now.